Oh my God, under personal comments, New York Knicks rule.
Yeah, the Knicks rule.
What's up, Knicks Nation? Welcome to episode 3 of the Buckets Weekly podcast. Today, big news. The Knicks, they hired a new coach. They did their due diligence. I'm so done with saying that. And it paid off. So we're going to go over the David Fizdale hire. We're going to go over a few off-season things in terms of our players and what they're getting up to. But we're mainly taking care of business today in this episode. We're going to break down Fizdale, how he fits with the Knicks, a little assessment on Scott and Steve, our front office, and what kind of assistant coaches we can expect Fizdale to be bringing in. There's already talk. There's a few candidates there as well, along with what might be staying from current staff. So we're going to go over that. Let's jump straight into it. David Fizdale, new coach, new head coach, New York Knicks. I love it. He was second on my list to Bud. There's talk that Budenholzer might be taking a year off, just taking some time out. He's still getting paid by Atlanta, so we'll see what happens with that. But number 2, David Fizdale, and the outpour. What's really got me hype is the outpour of player support for David Fizdale. As soon as he got hired, I actually found out because Michael Beasley posted a photo of him and said, "Welcome to New York and congrats." They may have worked together in Memphis, I'm not sure. He's worked with a lot of players in a lot of places. Oh, when he was an assistant in Miami. Bees rolled through Miami when he was there. And then you got Cantor, Hardaway on Twitter. With the take that for data, someone had to say it soon enough. That tweet. Moutier, he reached out, and Ntilikina. Lots of our guys have reached out to him, and that's what got me really hyped. I mean, as soon as the hire was made, all these articles were coming out about great for New York, this is a great fit, or it's not going to work out, what happened in Memphis, and blah, 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 which we'll touch on a little bit later on. But that's what really got me hyped was, other than reading about the man, was hearing the outpour of support from the players, because we're like, I don't know. The season's not even over. The playoffs are still going, and our players are reaching out to our coach, and they're already hyped about our coach and thinking about next season and ready to go to work, ready to go to battle with the guy. So I love that. I absolutely love that. There was a piece, ESPN, Mark Spears had a great piece, just a profile on Fizdale, so I recommend you go read that. Just a little bit of like what molds the man and what he's like, and a lot of different perspectives from different people, all of which are great. So I definitely recommend giving that a read. It seems like he's going to be that kind of character that the media are going to love. Obviously, he's a player's coach. And it seems like, from what people say about him, he's got that New York grit that everyone talks about. So, in terms of the character of the guy that they hired, obviously understands today's players tick, can deal with the media, is a New York guy. So, in that respect, he's a perfect fit. Maybe more than Bud was. He's obviously quite a newbie when it comes to coaching. He's got one full season under his belt. He got fired after 16 games, I think it was, in Memphis last year. Or this year, sorry. So, what happened in Memphis was he had that feud with Marc Gasol. And he didn't play him in like the fourth quarter. Gasol was upset. Grizzlies fired him. They were really bad coming out to start the season. That didn't change anything. They were bad all season. But there was loads of talk like, Fizz didn't want Gasol. Gasol wanted Pop. Blah, blah, blah. That's all been like debunked. Is garbage. But yeah, so Fizz, he's not had a chance really to show how good a coach he can be. Working under Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, he comes from that tree of coaching prowess, so that's obviously huge. And he wanted a second chance after Memphis. He said he's learned a lot from his time in Memphis. He got his feet wet, he cut his teeth as a coach, and now he wants a second chance, which he's got in New York. And he's ready to learn from it. And this is one of the biggest takeaways. Moments after he was hired, it seemed, he declared he's going to fly over to Latvia and see KP. That is second to the player hype. That's like the coach hype, which has got me hype. He is going over to Latvia, something only Josh Longstaff has done when he was sent by Phil Jackson and stuff to coach him in the offseason, in his first offseason. No one else has done it. Front office, no one's gone over to Latvia, where he always goes in the offseason. Obviously, being from there, a lot of family there and things. And when he does go, his social media lights up. Like, he's got a Rolls Royce over there now. He's just living the life. And when Josh Longstaff went over, he was just there to just check what he was doing in terms of workouts and like sort of implement a little bit of what Phil Jackson wanted. Like, make sure he's reading his book or whatever. I don't know. So that developed a huge relationship with Longstaff and KP. When KP came out and said that Longstaff was one of his favorite people within the organization. 2 weeks later, he was fired by Phil Jackson. But the fact that he went over there obviously meant a lot to KP. And now that our head coach is going to do it, one that already gets so much respect from players and is such a player's coach, the fact that he's going there just to say we're doing business and like just forging that bond already with the head coach and the team star player, that's going to be massive. Not just in terms of like on the court chemistry and things like that, and just the dynamics in terms of actually playing basketball, but the Knicks can offer KP the max extension this summer or next summer. And if they don't do it this summer, they're going to have an extra 10 mil in the summer of 2019 to play with, when everyone's going to be raving about the free agency. So I mean, KP Woj said it on his podcast that New York's made him a little bit more cynical and things like that. So people are kind of stepping on eggshells when it comes to the subject of KP's extension, because you want to give it to him as soon as possible to sort of anchor him in New York. KP, he said that he wants to be a Knick the whole of his career, blah, blah, blah. People say that. But not offering him the max now, that would have been a problem before. Mainly in like the Phil Jackson era or just like last year. But with Fizdale going over there, showing what this team's going to be in the future, all the media and things like that, they've already spoken about a change in the shift in the culture in New York, with Scott and Perry doing such a good job improving themselves, that I think that's going to be okay for KP, just not taking that extension yet. He's guaranteed it next year. We all know it. He knows it, hopefully. So the fact that Fizz is going over there, also not only does it do wonders for Knicks basketball, but Knicks business, that's going to be top trump. So yeah, Fizdale's just killing it already. He's got his first win as a Knicks coach. So those are the main things that have got me super hype about the hire. There's a few other things. He's looking already bringing, most coaches like to bring in their own staff. And a lot of his staff are still under Josh Bicker's staff in Memphis. He wants to bring over, one of the names that's come up is Keith Smart. I wasn't alive at this point, but apparently he got a game winner over Syracuse in college basketball, and so everyone hates him or something like that. I don't know, but a source says that that's his guy. That's Fizdale's guy. He works with him, and he brought him from Miami to Memphis where they were both assistants, and it's likely that he's going to come over to the Knicks as well. There's a few other names. He was on a panel show and he gave his top 10 lists of African American coaches that he feels should be given a shot. Nick Van Exel, honorary mention on that list. He's also in the rumor mill to maybe come over, and that would be amazing if Fizdale thinks he should be a head coach. If he can get him as an assistant, that would be great for us. A few other names. Juwan Howard, he was also, I don't know if we interviewed him, but he was rumored to be in the head coach mix for the Knicks, and he's currently at Miami. Pat Riley would have to give permission for him to come to us, and sort of this whole Fizdale hire being a Miami guy and a New York guy, people are saying, like, is this going to get, like, the Miami-New York rivalry back? So Pat Riley might foresee that and not give us, not let us even talk to Juwan Howard. So we'll see about that one. So at the moment, it's likely, Juwan Howard. At the moment, though, it's likely Keith Smart, Van Exel maybe, Mike Woodson. Now, Mike Woodson, it seems like he just really wants to be on the Knicks, and credit to him. Taking the Knicks to the playoffs and stuff, he obviously sees how good it can be, gets a little inkling of how good it can be, and sees the team, sees Fizdale going, and he said before the hire even that he will come as an assistant. And he said that now that he would definitely work under Fizdale, and if asked, he'd be happy to be an assistant. So we've got Woodson in the bag, which again I'd think is great. I don't know what his relationship with Fizdale is, if they've worked together at all, but just getting someone of that caliber who you know can handle New York and succeed in New York and knows how New York works, that might be another really good addition to have under Fizdale. So that's most of the assistant coaches at the moment. Nothing's been confirmed. It's looking like Keith Smart is a dead ringer. So moving on to his, he's having an intro presser, and I think it's next week. And we got the impression that he wants to go to Latvia as soon as possible, ASAP. So if he has his presser next week, we don't know when it is yet. We just know it's next week, or probably this week by the time you're listening to this. Then he's probably on the next flight out to Europe. So I'm looking forward to the presser because this is his first engagement with the press, with the media here in New York. We've seen him sort of around, like everyone's going weirdly crazy about his hot wife in New York. And there's been a profile on her and everything, and like it's quite a good insight into Fizdale's life, and we've seen him at the Golden State game and things like that. So he's quite a sociable man. So it's not going to be a surprise, really, his like persona that comes through when he talks to the media. But it's going to be nice just to get it cemented. Here's our head coach. At the moment, it was just reported that it's agreed to a 4-year deal with the Knicks, which actually lines up perfectly with Scott and Steve's deals because they're on 5 years. So the future's looking solid. The core of the team is looking solid. Obviously, we still got Dolan, but we just sort of ignore that. But everything else is looking prime to be a successful basketball team. So I'm looking forward just to getting it, just putting in the final nail and sealing this deal with his press conference next week. I think that's pretty much it on David Fizdale. Again, read the articles on the man because it will get you just as excited as when you see the outpour of support from players and things like that. You had like Jalen Jacoby, Chauncey Billups saying like he was the best on the market, the Knicks killed it. Just the excitement, it's already brung so much excitement to New York in terms of things are better in New York now. Things are going to be great in New York. Just like we're doing good and it feels weird. So David Fizdale, great hire. Everything I've heard about the man is incredible. And obviously all the stuff with Marc Gasol, cancel it out. He said he's learned from his mistakes. He's shown that going to see KP. KP's going to love that. His team's going to love that. His camp's going to love that. And it's going to show when it comes to playing basketball. Just a little word on KP. Obviously, we heard earlier in the year, Dolan was saying he's heard loads of things about KP's status. He could be back as early as next December, or he could not play next year at all. And since the hire, actually, KP's been brought into the light a bit more into focus, and it does really seem that it's going to be next year. Book it. He's not going to play. Which is really unfortunate. I mean, he walked out of the arena on the knee. When you watch his documentaries of his rehab, he's getting better super quick. He calls himself the lizard because he heals so quickly. Like a gecko or whatever. Their tails, I guess. I don't know. But I prefer unicorn. But yeah, it's looking like don't get your hopes up on KP. He's not going to be here next year. I hope that's not true, obviously. Everyone hopes that's not true. But I just wanted to shed some light on that because it's looking like that's what it's trending towards anyway. And the Knicks are going to be very careful, you know that much. But there's this delicate balance of keeping KP happy, and if he wants to play, do you let him play it? Blah blah blah. But I have faith in Knicks brass. I did as soon as they got together, as soon as we brought Perry in, and they were saying this is a two-brain operation. This is like even, like we see the team is on even keel. It's not a vertical plan, it's a horizontal plan. Everybody's all in. I love it. So I got faith in the team and doing what's right and just making sure everything's safe in terms of players being happy, staff being happy, and just getting the most out of this team. With Dolan just taking a step aside. So yeah, David Fizdale, 100. He goes ham and we love it. New York, be proud, be happy. It just seems weird to say that kind of stuff. Be happy, New York. There's been a few things that came out along with the hire in terms of LeBron James. I don't want to talk about this too much. I refuse to do a post about it on the gram, on the Buckets Weekly page, just because it holds no validity to me. He was an assistant with LeBron in Miami. LeBron is a free agent. New York is LeBron's favorite playground. Does this mean that New York are going to make a run? Can the Knicks just not make a good hire? Can they just not make a good decision without it being slandered by gossip and rumor and just make-believe? I'm sure when they made this hire, they had no intention of thinking, oh, he knows LeBron James, so we might get LeBron James. I'm not saying don't make a run at LeBron James when you can, because it's the best player in the world. Why wouldn't you? If you've got a shot, take it. But the fact that they made the hire to bait LeBron, and they're gonna clear house to get like 30 million cap this year to get LeBron, I don't buy it, and neither should you. Michael Rappaport, he's got a podcast, A Colorful Man. He was kind of backpedaling because he hates LeBron, and so many people hate LeBron. He was kind of backpedaling because all of a sudden this is a possibility that we could land LeBron. I don't think he needs to be too worried. But it's funny that there's just so many people just hate on LeBron. He's just, I think it was Tommy Beer had a tweet that was just blown up because he's just saying, I feel sorry for LeBron haters because they can't enjoy him being great. And it is enjoyable to watch him just dominate his profession and just be a beast, be the king. Some Knicks fans probably cringed when I said that. I apologize. I cringed a little myself. I mean, I love the athlete and the businessman, the philanthropist. Like, just he never puts a foot wrong, and you could assume he's a good guy. But then it's just like he's an absolute beast. He's super strong. He's like he's built like a barn door. He's just, when he's on the court, like, he truly is the king. But then, like, it's just the needy, petty little, like, moves on social media, and he just gets caught in these, like, well, not necessarily gets caught. I think he spins the web a lot of the time. But just, like, petty little weakling things that just degrade my respect for him, like, twofold. Like, he would be my idol if he didn't get into all of this, like, ridiculous, like, 6-year-old girl stuff, you know? So, I don't mind LeBron coming to New York. I actually had a weird dream where I was like best mates with LeBron, and I was like preaching to him like, dude, you're just a beast. You have the opportunity to be the GOAT, and like, you're just killing it. Like, no one gets this opportunity. You're making the most of it. It's brilliant. But don't do what you do, man. Don't be that guy. Come on. Which was really weird. I woke up like, oh man, blaspheme. Don't buy into the LeBron hype. Obviously, there's always going to be LeBron hype, and we can get used to reading about it and hearing about it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. Kawhi Leonard, kind of the same. Obviously, Kawhi, his camp, but there's like rumor that the Spurs are worried that his camp want him to go to a bigger market like LA or New York. He's a New York guy, if I believe. He's like living in New York, rehabbing in New York right now. So then there's all this talk again of, let's clear out and let's get Kawhi this summer when he's taken all year to heal a hammy, basically. This kind of stuff just grinds my gears because the Knicks are on fire. They're playing it cool. They're making the right choices. They're calm. They're collected. There's talk of this culture change, and there is a culture change. It's not just talk. It's the proof is in the pudding, man. We're doing good. And then there's all this stuff that just pollutes all of that when there's all this talk of they need to clear house. Like, it's just like 4 steps forward, 3.5 steps back with this kind of stuff. So again, Kawhi, I mean, make a run. If the shot's there, shoot it. But clearing house and making all this room now, and then 2019, we're just going to be, we've turned out pockets like bottom lips out, pouting about, we shouldn't have done this, when everyone was like, we should have done this because of all this like fake hype. So don't buy into that one either. Both would be great signs and both would be terrible signs. So it is what it is. Let's move on. David Fizdale, great. There's a few little nagging rumors and whatever just brewing because of the hire, but you can't put that on the man. You can just put that on the Knicks media. So yeah, great hire all around, and separate news and fake news, with what you read, because it is a great hire and it's a great move by the Knicks, and we need to keep this trajectory moving forward, going up. And Knicks brass, I feel, will do that. Quite a lot of off-season news with the players. Who we got? Whole team. Dottie had a birthday today, Sunday. He's been posting things on his gram and stuff, like he's having a big famous person party in Houston, so I enjoyed that, man. He's a bright spark for this team. He done work through the preseason, in the D-League in Westchester. He's riding the bench and just preaching that his time is going to come and things like that. And then at the end of the year, he got his shot and he was incredible. He was great to watch. We all wanted to see it all year, and he delivered. And he's got real potential in this league, and he showed that. And it's a great fit for what the Knicks are preaching about being, and what we want to be moving forward. It seems like he's going to be a great player for Fizdale to just, move around and play with. So enjoy your birthday, Damien, but just call him Damien. Happy birthday to you. What else have we got? Hardaway, he's just chilling on the beach. I think he lives in Florida, does he? Does he live in Miami? So he's just hitting the beach. Like, I don't blame him. Rest up. Get that shin right. Get the hammy right. Shoulder right. Get right. Lay on the beach. Do your thing. Cantor, he's still like running around all like the parliaments, like doing all this legal stuff. I don't really understand it, but I think he got like an honorary thing from Oklahoma City. He's chilling with the mayor of Oklahoma and things. He's doing stuff in Parliament in New York, or Congress. I don't know what you guys call it in the States. So he's doing his thing, and then he's taking a trip to Facebook headquarters and just chilling around there. Instagram, blah blah blah. He's having a cool off season. Moutier, he's having the coolest off season of all. Firstly, he's in the gym. He's in the gym in White Plains. He's working out. He's going for his game because he's got a lot of upside. Tremendous upside. We haven't seen it yet, really. We kind of saw it a little bit with Frank playing the 2. He had some incredible games for us, and he had some absolutely terrible games for us, like back-to-back almost, like at the end of this season. So yet to prove himself, really. People thought the switch might flip when he got to New York, but obviously he sees it hasn't, and he's in the gym right now, working on his game. And when he's not doing that, he's like turned into some kind of model with his, I can't remember what, like his brand, I don't know if it's his brand or whatever he endorses, on all his clothing. But he's like taking like all these really cool, like posing with Ferraris and just like doing hip hop poses. So that's what an NBA offseason should look like. So Moutier, he's killing it. Ntilikina, he's gone over to France. Interesting what's going to happen with Ntilikina, because he did say toward the back end of the season that he was going to go to France and work on his game this offseason. So it'll be interesting to see if the Knicks send over a member of staff similar to Longstaff with KP. So that'll be interesting to see. If not, he might come back to New York, and then we'll just like see Brickley and things. We'll work with him on his game, because we saw a little bit of that when he got to the States, living in New York. So whatever the balance of his off season is, you know that he's gonna get better this year, having that first taste of NBA basketball. So be interesting to sort of look what he's doing. He got like a banner raised in the rafters of Strasbourg, his team in France. It just said like Frank Ntilikina drafted by the Knicks. That was pretty cool. He was looking fresh as hell at like the reception thing, the ceremony. Had like this tan suit on. He's got little like tan like tops, like dyed tops of his hair, looking like the Fresh Prince, like literally the Fresh Prince. He's looking fresh to death, that boy. So that was cool to see back in France. So it'll be cool to just keep tabs on his off season and see how that goes. It would be cool to see Brickley as well. He's been you've seen him like quite active on Instagram and stuff, raving about Blackops Season 2, gonna be even better. Because that was so cool to see like Blackops basketball last year in Manhattan. All of these players coming in. You had Cantor, LeBron, JR, Melo, obviously. Hoodie Melo was like what was born of Blackops basketball. I don't know if we ever saw KP. I don't think we did, even though he lives in the building above where they play. But all of these players, Westbrook, Paul George, they were all, I mean, you name it, they were there playing basketball, just getting burned. Getting runs in New York is wicked. So he's saying that that's going to be even better. I love Cleanthony Early. I love an opportunity to shout out my boy Clee. He was playing with like LeBron and everybody. Lance Thomas was big. Marshall Plumlee setting picks for LeBron James. That was wicked. So apparently season 2 gonna be even better. So I can't wait for that. Hopefully like Frank comes back as well and might get some runs with Black Ops. That'll be wicked. Lance Thomas, Captain Lance, spoke a little bit at the end of last week's podcast. He's got his team Slang Magic Fishing. Named after a band, an underground like rap band in New York. So that was pretty cool. There's a really cool article actually what I read. Stephen Bondi, New York Daily News, had a wicked article all about Lance Thomas and how like he's got better at fishing in like entangled with his basketball career, and now he's got like his boat with cool speakers and blue lights, and he's got his fishing team and he's going into like competition. I think it was 16th of this month is his first competition, so that'd be pretty cool. Reading about it's pretty cool, man. I mean, I'm not into fishing, but I mean, I think it's cool, but I like want to follow Slang Magic Fishing, you know. So that's really cool. That article is really good. I recommend you read that actually, because it's a great insight into our captain, and he had to eat like a beating raw tuna heart and stuff like that, like just like crazy things like that, which are just so Lance, you know. So yeah, great read. He's having a wicked off season because it's all like he's the captain of our team. He's the captain of the boat, and the competitive juices are flowing. The guy's just 100 every day. So that's really cool. That's pretty much the podcast this week. That's everything. We've caught up on people's off-season activities. KP's over in Latvia with his Rolls Royce, doing his best Clyde impression, you know. Fizz is going to go over, so we're going to keep tabs on that, obviously. Catch up with that in next week's podcast. So yeah, again, anything else that you guys want to talk about, get in touch with me. Message me on the gram, message me on Twitter. The blog, bucketsweekly.com. Comment on YouTube, Buckets Weekly Podcast. iTunes, subscribe, like, those stars. They're killing me, man. I mean, I need a certain amount of ratings to get my average, and I'm so close. So if you guys can rate it on iTunes, that'd be wicked. And yeah, get in touch with me, whichever platform you choose. Email me, bucketsweekly@hotmail.com, and we'll read out your stuff, and we'll give me some talking points, and because it's an off season, so I'll say it again, it's a group effort. So yeah, great opportunity for you guys to contribute to the podcast as well. And I think it'd be wicked. At the moment, we've just had people talking about like, you know, player experiences and things like that on the gram, and we've covered that. So any nitty gritty questions that you might have or opinions, if we can get like a nice pool of Knicks Nation opinions on things like Fizdale, who we should bring back next season. A lot of unknowns. Now that we got the coach hire, that might speed up like Cantor and KO's decisions on whether they're going to opt in or out. The consensus is that they're probably going to opt out. So just in any scenario, what do you want to see happen? What should happen in your opinion? So let's collate some opinions and we'll bring them all together on the show and we'll discuss them, and you guys can rant and rave in the comments and things like that as well. So we'll get this baby cooking. So that's it. Episode 3, Buckets Weekly Podcast. No news on the Beard Gang, unfortunately, to sign off the show. Noah's, I assume he's still got the beard, and I think I can confirm that it is dyed, because it's confirmed that it was a bit blonder on the tip. So hey, we did have some beard news. Enjoy the summer, guys. It's getting lovely, the weather here in the UK. And again, get in touch, any platform, wherever you find this. Like, subscribe, rate, comment, and message me. With any kind of input that you might have, and I'd be massively appreciateful. I'd be massively grateful if you can do that small thing. All right, Knicks Nation, peace.